to my channel. So today I'll be reading another Japanese folktale. The title is Kobutori-ji-san in Japanese, and the English title is the old man who lost his cheek lump. So this is today's picture. He is dancing and he has a lump on his cheek. So let's get started. The old man who lost his cheek lump. Part 1. A quiet life in the mountains. Long ago, in a quiet mountain village in Japan, there lived an old man and his wife. Their small house stood at the edge of a forest where tall cedar trees reached towards the sky. Every morning, soft sunlight slipped gently through the branches, painting golden patterns across the ground. Birds welcomed the day with sweet songs, and a cool breeze carried the fresh scent of pine, wild grass, and damp earth. It was a peaceful place. The old man lived a simple life. He was not rich. He did not own wide fields or many fine things. But he had kind hands, a warm smile, and a gentle heart. Every morning, before the sun climbed high into the sky, he quietly opened the wooden door of his home and stepped outside. The morning air always felt cool against his face. He took a deep breath and smiled. "It will be another good day," he whispered softly. His wife was already awake inside. She carefully stirred a pot of rice over the small fire while miso soup filled the little house with its warm and comforting smell. When everything was ready, she called gently, "Breakfast is ready." The old man entered the house and washed his hands. Then the two sat together on soft straw mats. Their breakfast was simple. A bowl of rice, a little miso soup, some pickled vegetables. Sometimes there was a small piece of grilled fish. Sometimes there was only rice and soup. Still, they always smiled before eating. "Thank you for this meal," they said together. The old man enjoyed every bite. It tastes wonderful, he always told his wife. His wife smiled kindly. "I am glad." She knew the meal was simple. Still, hearing those words always made her heart warm. There was one thing that made the old man different from everyone else. On his right cheek grew a large round lump. It had been there for as long as anyone could remember. Even when he had been a little boy, the lump had already been there. It never hurt him. It never made him sick. But it was very easy to notice. Children sometimes stared at it with wide eyes. Travelers often looked twice. Some people quietly whispered it to each other after he walked by. When he was young, those whispers made him sad. He often wondered why he was different. Sometimes he hid his face with his sleeve. Sometimes he stayed home because he did not want anyone to look at him. One evening, many years before, his wife had gently held his hand. "You do not need to hide. But everyone looks at me. They look for only a moment," she answered softly. "Then they see your smile." The old man looked down. "I wish I looked like everyone else." His wife shook her head. "I married you because of your kind heart, not because of your face." The old man smiled quietly. From that day on, he tried not to worry so much. The lamp was simply part of him. It did not stop him from working. It did not stop him from laughing. It did not stop him from being kind. So he lived his days peacefully. After breakfast, the old man prepared for his work. He picked up a small hut woven from straw. Then he lifted his trusted axe. Its wooden handle had become smooth after many years of use. He gently touches the blade. "It still has many good years left," he said. His wife nodded. "Please be careful in the mountains." "I always am. And don't stay too late." "I'll come home before sunset." She smiled. "I'll be waiting." The old man bowed slightly before leaving. The narrow mountain path twisted between rocks and tall trees. Wildflowers bloomed beside the trail. Tiny butterflies floated through the morning air. Some white, some yellow, some blue. A little stream crossed the path. Its clear water danced over smooth stones, making a soft and gentle sound. The old man stopped for a moment. He knelt beside the water. He washed his hands and face. The cool water felt fresh and clean. Nearby, a tiny frog jumped from one stone to another. The old man laughed quietly. "You are awake early today." The frog disappeared into the grass. The old man continued walking. As he climbed higher into the mountains, the forest became deeper. The trees grew older and taller. Some were so wide that two people could barely reach around them together. Sunlight filtered through countless green leaves above. Small beams of light rested here and there upon the forest floor. Everything looked calm. Everything moved slowly. The old man loved this place. Whenever he entered the forest, he felt as though he had stepped into another world. A quieter world. A gentler world. He greeted the trees every morning. Thank you for watching over us. He greeted the birds. Good morning. Sometimes he even greeted the wind. The forest never answered with words. Instead, the leaves softly rustled together. The branches swayed gently. The birds continued singing. That was answer enough. Soon he reached the place where he usually gathered firewood. Many fallen branches lay scattered across the ground after the previous week's strong wind. The old man smiled. There will be plenty today. He walked slowly. There was no need to hurry. Each swing of the axe echoed softly through the quiet woods. Tock, tock, tock. The sound blended with bird song, and the flowing stream. The old man liked that rhythm. It felt peaceful. While he walked, small animals watched from nearby bushes. A squirrel climbed down a tree. It held a tiny acorn between its paws. The old man smiled. You found your breakfast. The squirrel twitched its little nose before quickly climbing back into the branches. Hours passed quietly. The sun slowly climbed higher. The morning air became warmer. The old man stopped working and sat on a large flat rock. His wife had packed a small lunch inside a cloth. He carefully opened it. Inside were 2 rice balls wrapped in bamboo leaves. There were also a few pickled plums. Simple food, but it smelled wonderful. As he ate, he looked across the mountains. Far below, the village rested peacefully. Thin trails of white smoke rose gently from the rooftops. Some farmers worked in the fields. Children chased each other near the river. The old man smiled. What a peaceful day. A little bird landed nearby. It tilted its head curiously. The old man broke off a tiny piece of rice. I think this belongs to you. The bird quickly picked it up before flying away. You're welcome, he laughed softly. Clouds drifted lazily across the blue sky. The forest became very still. The old man closed his eyes for a few moments. He listened carefully. The wind, the leaves, the water, the birds. Everything around him breathed together in quiet harmony. It was the kind of silence that made the heart feel light. After resting, he stood once again. There is still time before sunset. He gathered another bundle of wood. He tied the branches neatly with rope. Then he continued further than usual into the forest. He did not notice that he had wandered deeper than ever before. The familiar path slowly disappeared behind him. New trees surrounded him. The rocks looked different. The small stream flowed another way. Still, the old man did not worry. The afternoon sunlight remained bright. "I'll turn back soon," he said quietly. He continued walking. Little by little, the shadows grew longer. The golden sunlight slowly became softer. Bird song began to fade. The forest changed its voice. Day quietly prepared to become evening. The old man looked up. "Oh, the sun is lower than I thought." He lifted the heavy bundle of firewood onto his back. "It is time to go home." He started walking. But after several minutes, he stopped. This path. It wasn't here this morning. He looked around carefully. Every direction seemed the same. Tall cedar trees, old moss-covered stones, quiet green hills. The familiar trail had disappeared. The old man scratched his head. "I must have walked further than I realized." He smiled anyway. "There is no reason to rush. I'll find the path soon." He continued walking through the quiet forest as the evening shadows slowly stretched across the ground. Far away, dark clouds quietly gathered beyond the mountains. A cool breeze touched the leaves. The air felt different now, almost as though the forest itself was holding its breath. The old man stopped for just a moment and looked toward the darkening sky. "I think a storm may be coming." Part 2. A strange night beneath the trees. The old man looked up at the sky once again. The soft blue color of the afternoon was slowly fading away. Gray clouds quietly covered the mountain tops. The warm breeze had become cool. Even the birds had stopped singing. The forest felt strangely quiet. The old man whispered, "I should hurry home." He adjusted the bundle of firewood on his back and began walking again. Step after step, he searched for the familiar path. But every trail looked different. Every tree seemed to stand where another tree had stood stood only moments before. The deeper he walked, the more unfamiliar the forest became. Soon the first drop of rain landed on his straw hat. Another drop touched his shoulder. Then another. The old man looked up. Oh dear. The rain quickly grew heavier. Soft drops became a steady shower. Within moments, the leaves above trembled beneath the falling rain. The forest filled with the gentle sound of water. Pita, 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 pita. The old man pulled his straw hat lower over his face. It will pass soon, he said quietly. But instead, the rain became stronger. Wind rushed through the tall cedar trees. The branches swayed above him. The forest, which had been peaceful all day, now seemed alive with movement. The old man carefully protected his bundle of firewood. If this wood becomes too wet, it will not burn well. He looked around for shelter. Then he noticed something unusual. At the foot of a great old tree was a large hollow. The trunk was enormous, perhaps hundreds of years old. Its roots spread across the ground like the arms of an ancient giant. Near its base was an opening wide enough for a person to enter. The old man smiled with relief. That should keep me dry. He stepped inside. The hollow was surprisingly large. It was dry. The thick tree protected him from the rain and wind. The old man gently placed the firewood beside him. Then he sat down. Outside, the rain continued to fall. Water dripped softly from countless leaves. The forest had become a world of quiet silver sound. The old man listened peacefully. He had always loved the sound of rain. He reminded him of evenings at home. His wife would place another piece of firewood into the stove. Steam would rise from a pot of tea. The little house would feel warm and safe. He smiled. I hope she isn't worrying too much. He imagined her looking outside. Perhaps she was standing by the door. Perhaps she was wondering why he had not returned. I'll be home tomorrow morning, he whispered. I hope she knows I'm safe. The rain continued for a long time. Slowly, the light outside disappeared. Evening became night. The forest grew darker. The old man could barely see beyond the entrance of the hollow tree. The air smelled fresh. Wet leaves, rich earth, cool moss, the peaceful scent of the mountains. The old man wrapped his arms around himself to stay warm. He was not frightened, only a little lonely. He quietly began humming an old song his mother had once sung to him when he was a child. It was a slow and gentle melody, the kind that floated softly through the night. As he hummed, he listened to the rain. Little by little, the storm began to pass. The rain became lighter. The wind grew calm. Soon, only drops of water continued falling from the branches. Everything became still again. Very still. Almost too still. The old man opened his eyes. Something had changed. The forest no longer sounded empty. Far away, he thought he heard laughter. Very faint, very soft. Ha ha ha. The old man tilted his head. Someone is out here. He listened carefully. Again he heard it. Gentle laughter. Then music. A small drum. Tap, tap, tap. A bamboo flute. A tiny bell. Soft singing. The sounds floated through the trees like mist. The old man blinked. Who would be playing music in the mountains at this hour? He slowly ran towards the opening of the hollow tree. The moon had risen. Its pale silver light rested upon the wet leaves. Mist drifted quietly between the trunks. The whole forest looked dreamlike. Then he saw lights, small lights, blue, green, golden. They floated through the air like tiny stars. One by one, they appeared among the trees. The old man stared in amazement. Fireflies? But they were much brighter than ordinary fireflies. They danced slowly through the forest. Then the laughter became louder. The music grew clear. Someone was coming. The old man quickly stepped back inside the hollow tree. His heart beat a little faster. He carefully peeked through the opening. The lights gathered together. Then, from between the ancient cedar trees, strange figures slowly appeared. Some were tall, some were short, some had red faces, others had blue skin, some had no long noses, others had little horns. Their clothes were bright and colorful. Many carried drums, some carried fans. Others held cups that sparkled beneath the moonlight. The old man's eyes became wide. They can't be. He remembered the stories his grandmother had told him long ago. Stories about mysterious beings that lived deep inside old forests. Creatures who loved music. Creatures who danced beneath the moon. The The old man whispered almost without breathing. The mountain spirits. The strange visitors gathered in a small clearing not far from the hollow tree. They laughed happily together. Some spread beautiful clothes across the ground. Others placed trays filled with colorful food. There were roasted fish, mountain vegetables, rice cakes, fruit, steaming bowls of soup. The wonderful smell drifted gently through the night air. One spirit poured clear rice wine into small cups. Another began beating a drum. Boom, boom, boom. The others clapped their hands. Soon everyone began dancing. Round and round they moved beneath the moonlight. Their shadows stretched across the forest floor. The old man had never seen anything too strange. Yet somehow they did not seem frightening. They looked cheerful. They laughed like children enjoying a festival. The old man found himself smiling. What a wonderful dance! One of the spirits spun through the air. Another leaped high over the fire. A tiny spirit with a round belly twirled so quickly that everyone burst to laughter. The old man covered his mouth so he would not laugh aloud. They are having so much fun. The music continued. The forest itself seemed to dance. Leaves rustled gently. The stream shimmered beneath the moon. Even the stars above appeared brighter. The old man forgot about the rain. He forgot about being lost. He simply watched with quiet wonder. Then a deep voice echoed through the clearing. My friends, everyone stopped dancing. The spirits bowed respectfully. A large spirit stepped forward. He wore beautiful robes embroidered with golden leaves. Long white hair flowed over his shoulders. His eyes sparkled kindly. Although he looked powerful, his smile was warm. He slowly looked around the gathering. Tonight is a joyful night. The spirits cheered. But he looked towards the dancers. Our celebration feels incomplete. The others tilted their heads. The great spirit smiled. I wish to see something truly delightful. The clearing became quiet. Everyone waited. The old man held his breath. Little did he know, the strange night was only beginning. Part 3. The Dance of the Forest Spirits. The clearing became very quiet. The great spirit looked slowly around at everyone. His warm smile remained upon his face. My friends, he said gently, our feast has been wonderful. The spirits nodded happily. The food is delicious. The music is beautiful. The moon is shining brightly. But I feel that tonight is still missing one special thing. The other spirits looked at one another. What could it be? A new song? A different dance? The great spirit softly laughed. No, I wish to be surprised. The little spirit began whispering excitedly. I wonder what will happen. So do I. The old man listened from inside the great tree. His heart beat quietly. He had never imagined that such strange and cheerful beings truly lived in the mountains. He wanted to keep watching, only for a little longer. The music began once again. A drummer softly tapped a slow rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. A bamboo flute joined in. Its gentle melody floated through the cool night air. The spirits danced together again. They turned gracefully beneath the moonlight. Some spun slowly. Others waved colorful fans. Their bright robes shimmered like flowing water. The old man smiled without realizing it. What a beautiful dance! His foot quietly moved with the rhythm. Tap, tap. He quickly stopped. Oh, I must stay hidden. But the music was joyful. It reminded him of village festival when he had been young. Long ago he had loved to dance. Not because he was especially good. Simply because dancing made everyone smile. He remembered laughing with friends. He remembered holding his wife's hand during summer festivals. Those memories warmed his heart. Without singing, he quietly swayed from side to side. Just a little. Then, one of the smaller spirits suddenly stopped dancing. Wait! Everyone froze. The music stopped. The old man's heart nearly stopped as well. The little spirit sniffed the air. I smell someone. The others looked around. I do too. There is someone nearby. The great spirit raised one hand, came out. His voice was calm. We know you are here. The old man closed his eyes. Oh dear, there is no point hiding now. Slowly, he stepped out from the hollow tree. Moonlight felt gently across his face. The spirit stared in surprise. A human, an old man. What is he doing here? The old man quickly bowed as deeply as he could. I am very sorry. I became lost in the storm. I found shelter inside the tree. I did not wish to disturb your celebration. The clearing became silent. The old man remained bowed. Then the great spirit began to laugh. Not a cruel laugh, a warm laugh. Ha ha ha. The other spirit looked confused. The Great Spirit smiled kindly. You are very polite. The old man slowly looked up. I truly meant no disrespect. I understand, said the Great Spirit. Please raise your hands. The old man stood carefully. The Great Spirit walked closer. You watched our dance. Yes. What did you think? The old man's face brightened. It was the most beautiful dance I have ever seen. The spirit smiled proudly. I have never seen such wonderful music. I have never seen people dance with so much happiness. The Great Spirit looked pleased. You speak honestly. I do. I forgot that I was lost. I forgot the rain. I only wished to keep watching. The Great Spirit folded his arms. Then perhaps he smiled. You should dance with us. The old man's eyes became wide. Me? Yes. The other spirits clapped excitedly. Let him dance. I will be fun. The old man laughed nervously. Oh no, I am only an old woodcutter. My knees are not as strong as they once were. The Great Spirit smiled. We are not asking for a perfect dance. We are asking for a joyful one. The old man stood quietly for a moment. Then he smiled. Very well. If you do not mind an old man's clumsy feet. The spirit cheered happily. The drummer raised his sticks. Boom, boom, boom. The flute began again. The old man stepped into the middle of the clearing. At first he moved slowly. One step, another step. He gently lifted his arms. He turned once. The spirits watched quietly. The old man remembered the dance of his childhood. The village festivals, the harvest celebrations, the songs his parents had sung. Little by little, his body relaxed. His feet found the rhythm. He smiled. Then he laughed. The laughter echoed through the forest. The spirits laughed with him. The old man spun around. Not quickly, not perfectly, but naturally. He clapped his hands. He stamped his feet. His sleeves floated gently through the moonlight. His straw hat slipped sideways. He laughed even harder. The spirits burst into joyful applause. What wonderful dancing! He dances with his whole heart. He looks so happy. The Great Spirit smiled more brightly than ever. This is exactly what I wished to see. The old man forgot his age. He forgot the lump upon his cheek. He forgot every worry he had carried through life. For those few moments, he was simply happy. The dance continued. The spirits joined him. Round and round they danced together. The moon shone high above. Fireflies drifted through the trees. The forest seemed alive with gentle laughter. Even the wind moved softly as if it wished to join the celebration. At last the music slowly came to an end. The old man bowed deeply. "Thank you. I have never enjoyed myself so much." The spirits clapped loudly. The Great Spirit stepped forward. "You have given us a wonderful gift tonight." The old man shook his head. "No, the gift was yours. You allowed an old traveler to share your celebration." The Great Spirit smiled. "You are humble." Then his eyes rested upon the large lamp on the old man's right cheek. What is this?" The old man gently touched his cheek. "Oh, I have had this since I was a little boy. It has never gone away." The Great Spirit nodded thoughtfully. "I see." He looked at the other spirits. "My friend." The spirits gathered around him. They whispered together for a few moments. Then they all smiled. The Great Spirit turned back to the old man. "We have decided to keep something very precious." The old man blinked. "Something precious?" The spirits pointed gently toward his cheek. "This." The old man looked confused. "My lamp?" "Yes." Before the old man could ask another question, the Great Spirit carefully reached out his hand. He touched the old man's cheek ever so lightly. There was no pain, no fear, only a strange warmth, like sunlight on a spring morning. The old man felt something become lighter, very gently. The lamp slipped away from his face as easily as a leaf floating from a branch. The spirits caught it with great care. "There, now we shall keep this." The old man raised both hands to his face. His fingers slowly touched his cheek. Smooth, perfectly smooth. He gasped softly. My lamp, it is gone." Tears filled his eyes. For the first time in his entire life, his cheek felt light. The Great Spirit smiled warmly. "We shall keep it safe, but only because you promised nothing. You danced from your heart. You laughed without pretending. You brought joy to everyone." The old man bowed again and again. "I don't know how to thank you." The Great Spirit chuckled. "There is only one thing we ask." "What is that?" "Come back tomorrow night." The old man looked surprised. "We wish to dance with you again." The other spirits all nodded happily. "Yes, please return. We'll prepare another feast." The Great Spirit carefully wrapped the lamp in a beautiful silk cloth. "We shall keep this until tomorrow. It will remind us that you promised to return. The old man smiled. I will come. If I am able, I will gladly return. The spirits laughed with delight. The first pale light of dawn slowly began to appear beyond the mountains. The great spirit looked towards the eastern sky. Morning is coming. Our celebration must end. One by one, the spirits gathered their instruments. The magical lights floated back into the trees. The music faded into the quiet forest. Soon, the clearing became empty once again. Only the old man remained. He gently touched his smooth cheek once more. A smile spread across his face. Then he picked up his bundle of firewood. As he stepped onto the forest path, he noticed something surprising. The trail leading home lay clearly before him, as though it had been waiting for him all along. The old man quietly whispered, "What a mysterious and wonderful night." Part 4. A lesson from the heart. The morning sun slowly rose above the mountains. Golden light spread across the forest. Tiny drops of rain still rested on the leaves, shining like little jewels. The old man followed the narrow path with a light heart. Every few steps, he gently touched his right cheek. It still felt smooth. He smiled each time. It wasn't a dream. The birds welcomed the new morning with cheerful songs. A small stream sparkled beside the path. The air smelled fresh after the night's rain. Everything seemed brighter than before. Even the bundle of firewood on his back felt lighter. After some time, the old man finally saw the rooftops of his village. Thin white smoke rose from the chimneys. People had already begun their morning work. The old man quietly walked toward his little house. Before he could knock, the front door suddenly slid open. His wife hurried outside. "There you are." Her eyes were full of relief. "I was so worried." The old man bowed his head. I am sorry. I became lost in the storm." His wife gently took his hand. "I thought something terrible had happened." "I'm safe." She looked closely at his face. Then she froze. Her eyes grew wide. She blinked several times. "My dear, your cheek." The old man smiled. "What about it?" "It's gone. The lamp is gone." She reached out with trembling fingers. Very gently, she touched his smooth cheek. Tears filled her eyes. "It really is gone." The old man nodded. "It happened in the forest." They went inside together. The old man slowly told her everything. The rain, the great hollow tree, the mysterious music, the joyful spirits, the beautiful dance beneath the moon. His wife listened without saying a word. When he finished, she smiled softly. What a wonderful night. I still can hardly believe it myself. You danced because you were happy. I suppose I did. And they saw your true heart. The old man nodded. Perhaps. His wife poured them both some warm tea. Steam rose gently into the morning air. The little house felt peaceful. The old man quietly looked out the window towards the mountains. I promised them I would return tonight. His wife smiled. Then you should keep your promise. I think so too. News travels quickly in a small village. Before long, everyone had heard that the old man's lamp had disappeared. Neighbors came to visit. Children stared with surprise. Your face looks different. It really disappeared. How did it happen? The old man simply smiled. It is a long story. Some people listened with wonder. Others found it difficult to believe. Forest spirits? Surely that cannot be true. The old man never argued. I only know what I saw. Among those who heard the story was another old man. He lived on the other side of the village. Like the first old man, he also had a large lamp on his face. But his lamp was on his left cheek. He had often wished it would disappear. When he heard the story, his eyes became bright. So that's the secret. If I meet those spirits, they will remove mine as well. He hurried to visit the first old man. I heard what happened. The old man welcomed him kindly. Please come in. The visitor sat down. Tell me exactly where you found the spirits. The old man carefully explained. The storm, the great cedar tree, the clearing, the moonlit dance. The second old man listened carefully. When the story ended, he stood up at once. Thank you. I'll go there tonight. The first old man smiled gently. If you happen to meet them, just be yourself. The second old man nodded quickly. Of course. But in his heart, he was thinking about only one thing. I want my lamp to disappear. That evening, the second old man climbed into the mountains. Just as the first old man had described, dark clouds gathered. Soon rain began to fall. He found the great hollow tree and hid inside. Before long, the rain stopped. Soft music drifted through the forest. Tiny glowing lights floated among the trees. The spirits returned once again. Everything happened just as the first old man had said. The second old man smiled to himself. This will be easy. The spirits prepared another joyful celebration. The great spirit looked around. Our friend who danced so beautifully last night has not arrived. The other spirits looked disappointed. I hoped he would return. So did I. The second old man stepped out from the hollow tree. I have come. The spirit looked surprised. The great spirit studied him carefully. You seem different. The old man quickly laughed. Oh, I dance wonderfully. I'll show you. Without waiting for the music to begin, he jumped into the center of the clearing. He waved his arms widely. He spun around too quickly. He stamped his feet as loudly as he could. He tried to make everyone laugh. But something felt different. His movements were hurried. His smile did not reach his eyes. Instead of enjoying the dance, he was thinking only about the reward. The spirits quietly watched. No one laughed. No one clapped. The music slowly faded away. The clearing became silent. The second old man stopped dancing. Weren't I wonderful? The great spirit looked at him kindly. You tried very hard. The old man smiled proudly. So, you'll remove my lamp now? The great spirit gently shook his head. You misunderstand. The only man blinked. You danced because you wanted something. The second old man frowned. So what? The great spirit answered softly. Our friend danced because he was happy. He forgot himself. He shared his joy. You danced while thinking only of yourself. The second old man lowered his eyes. The spirits gathered together. The great spirit unfolded the beautiful silk cloth. Inside rested the first old man's old lamp. We promised to keep this until our friend returned. He smiled sadly. But you are not the one we were waiting for. The great spirit gently picked up the lamp. If this belongs to no one tonight, we shall return it. The second old man looked confused. Return it? Before he could move, the great spirit lightly touched his face. There was the same warm feeling as before. But this time, the old man's own lamp remained on his left cheek, and the first old man's old lamp settled gently onto his right cheek. The second old man gasped. He touched both sides of his face. My cheeks. There are two. The spirits nodded quietly. The great spirit spoke gently. This is not a punishment. It is a reminder. A joyful heart cannot be copied. A kind heart cannot be borrowed. And true happiness cannot be earned through pretending. The second old man's shoulders slowly dropped. For the first time that night, he truly understood. He bowed deeply. I see, I was foolish. The great spirit smiled kindly. It is never too late to learn. The second old man returned to the village before sunrise. People were surprised to see two lamps on his face. He honestly told everyone what had happened. He did not hide the truth. I wanted only the reward. I forgot about joy. I forgot about kindness. The first old man listened quietly. Then he smiled. Perhaps the greatest gift was not losing my lamp. The second old man looked at him. What do you mean? The first old man poured him a cup of warm tea. The greatest gift was remembering to enjoy each moment with an honest heart. The second old man slowly smiled. I think I understand now. The two old men sat together in peaceful silence. Outside, the morning breeze gently moved through the trees. Birds sang sweetly beneath the bright blue sky. Far away, the mountains stood quietly beneath drifting clouds. Perhaps one certain moonlit night, if someone listened very carefully, they might still hear the soft sound of distant drums, a gentle bamboo flute, warm laughter carried by the wind. And somewhere deep within the ancient forest, the cheerful mountain spirits may still be dancing beneath the silver moon, waiting for those who come with a joyful heart. So the story is finished. So, how was today's story? So thank you for watching.